All right, welcome back to the podcast. Today we are going over how to reach your goals and really 10xing your goals. But before we hop into that, today is actually launch day for our supplement line. So we just launched our whey protein powder today. So thank you for all that support that you've given so far. And if you'd like to check it out, go ahead over to fitgrindformula.com. Like I said, today was our day we launched the whey protein powder. We have future products coming out in the future that we're currently working on. So super excited to build out this line of supplements.
Yeah, and if you buy 2 tubs of protein, you can get a shaker cup for free. So
it's kind of the deal that we're doing for kickoff weekend is buy 2 tubs of protein and you'll get a free Fit Grind shaker cup.
Let's hop into our topic today.
Yeah, so what we wanted to kind of talk about today is the concept of 10xing your goals. And I think this is a really powerful thing that can be applied to any aspect of your life. But I think it just gets you thinking about the extraordinary, about things that are perceived as not being able to be accomplish this certain thing, or I'm not going to be able to reach this goal because it's too hard or it's just not realistic. But we're going to talk about how to 10x your goals so that you can achieve your current goal, but also just these really amazing things. And like I said, that can apply to so many other aspects of your life, not just the gym.
Yeah, and I think it helps overcome some of those challenges internally too. So when you're able to do something that you feel like seems impossible, it's really powerful and it really makes you feel invincible almost.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That was kind of the whole, one way that we can kind of incorporate this and start off at first is I think when you get to the gym, you become very goal driven. You become very driven by all different kinds of goals. And it doesn't have to be the same for everyone. But I think that in order to see success in the gym, you have to have some sort of goal that you're always chasing. You're always like chasing behind this certain goal and you're doing certain exercises or certain workouts to achieve that goal. And I think that's for me where I really learned to set a goal. And I think, as I kept going along in my fitness journey, started to like hit this milestone and I hit this milestone. And then it's like, why not set like a really crazy goal? Because you know that you're going to work to get there. You have to give yourself enough time to accomplish that goal, but why not set a goal that's like crazy or like maybe scares you a little bit? I think that's where a lot of really amazing things happen is when you set a goal that's like, shit, I don't know if I can do that. But like setting that goal, it makes you feel like every workout means something because you know that it has to be good in order if you're going to reach that goal, especially if it's in a certain timeline. I know like I talked about, and we'll be talking about this in depth in future videos, but we're going to run our first marathon this year. And I was telling you about a time goal that I had that you were like, all right, but it's like, why not set a goal that's out there, that's like not crazy. Like I'm not going to be running a 2.5 hour marathon for my first marathon. I know that, but like set a goal that kind of scares you a little bit and is like, okay, I'm going to have to come up with a game plan. I'm going to have to nail every workout because every workout means something in order to reach that goal.
Yeah, if you just set a basic goal, I think then you can kind of coast your way through it. So if you set something that's more seems unrealistic, you're going to get out of your comfort zone. And when you get out of your comfort zone, that's when you grow. Yeah. I've heard that time and time again, and it stuck to me because it's so relatable in our specific business too. Just, there's some things that we do that like, I'm like, wow, if I actually sat down and thought about that, I don't know that I would do that again because it's so crazy, you know, like opening a gym in 2020 is like, if we sat down and maybe actually thought about that, would we be like, this is fucking crazy?
Yeah.
But sometimes, you set those goals and depending on the person too, it really depends on the person. And if you're a driven person and you're a disciplined person, you can set those crazy goals. But I would suggest maybe starting out with just a regular basic goal. And if you can prove to yourself that you can accomplish that goal, then you can get into these more crazy, outlandish goals.
Yeah, I mean, any time that you nailed that on the head, what you said was you made me think of something. When you when you set a goal and you reach it, that builds a lot of confidence. And that can be applied to anything. You know, in the gym, I set a goal of getting my first pull-up. It's like, okay, getting that first pull-up is really hard. Getting from 1 to 5 is easier because you understand the mechanics of the movement, you understand how to overload, you understand what you're supposed to be doing.
You understand what it takes to get
exactly,
there.
Yeah. So it's the same thing in any other aspect of life, you know. We opened this gym and we had kind of like this blind faith. We knew the vision. We had optimism, and we were, you know, like almost out to really just prove something to ourselves. And like, I think that, you know, we started getting a couple victories, a couple wins here and there, and then that builds a lot of confidence. And it's like, okay, let's keep adding. Let's keep setting the bar higher. What else can we do? What's the next thing that we can accomplish? Because as soon as you stop trying to look for that next thing, I think that's when you're kind of dead in the water. And that applies to anything: your fitness, your relationships with your friends, your family, and business or your job. Like when you stop, that's when you're stuck. And if you're not, it doesn't have to necessarily be getting bigger or necessarily getting like more of this or more of that, but just improvement, just refining what you're doing and just finding some way to get just a little bit better in any aspect of your life. If you can just continuously do that, that's really the key. But that's something that you said that really made me think of that, is just these little victories start to really just build this like confidence. And then that sets you up to set that 10x goal of like, okay, I have this goal where, you know, I want to do 1 pull-up. Hey, let's do a Murph. Let's do 100 pull-ups in a workout. Like, that sounds crazy. But if you can think of that and then you kind of wrap your head around it, then it's like, okay, I can do this. I can accomplish this goal. It's going to take me a while to get there, but I can do it. And I think that builds a lot of confidence.
Right. And like you said, okay, I've accomplished the pull-up. Now I know that I can do something that involves doing these pull-ups. Like, don't set yourself up for failure. If you don't even know how to do a pull-up, you know, you can do them banded. But if you're wanting to do everything super strict, know that you have to do step 1 first. But I think, you know, like doing something that puts you outside of your comfort zone is the only way to grow. And if we do something every day that's outside of our comfort zone, you're more likely to grow, because we are creatures of habit. We want to do what's comfortable. We want to wake up. We want to do the same thing every day. But if you do that same thing every day, you're never going to get results. So, I mean, I think that's something that speaks for itself. Just wake up and do something different for the day. Try something different. Because the only way to grow is by stepping outside of that comfort zone. Yeah,
for sure. And I think that's the whole concept behind 10xing your goals. And what I mean by that is, you take a goal. Okay, what's your goal that you want to achieve? Okay, multiply that by 10. Then now that's the goal. And it makes you really challenge the thought of what's possible, what's achievable. But I think when you do that, like, it helps motivate you, and it helps focus you. And if you know that something's going to be really hard, you're going to show up and you're going to bring your best. That's the whole concept behind Fit Grind, is we're just showing up day in, day out. We're being consistent, and we're showing up ready for the task at hand. And when you take that goal and you set a really challenging goal, it really does put your back up against the wall. And that's exactly where you grow. This is exactly what you're talking about, is when you're challenged, when you're not comfortable. Those are the best ways that we can grow and learn, or fail, but learn why we failed and improve on that. And I think back to all the progress in different aspects of my life that I've made, whether that is in education, or think of in the gym, or in our relationship, or business. Every time that we've made strides is when we're uncomfortable and we're reaching for new heights. And that can be applied to anything in life. And I think when you really start to think that way about one thing, then you can start to think that way about all things. And then it becomes this very powerful thing, because you're just always looking to get better, always looking to improve. And I think both of us are very competitive people, and we naturally have that little fire in us that like, I can't do a job where I never
9 to 5.
Well, yeah, nothing against 9 to 5, but just like, I just always want to do the next thing. I always want the next step. I always want the next challenge. And that has really stemmed, I think, from just athletics growing up and just my deep roots in the gym. Yeah, just that competitive nature. And if you're not naturally competitive, that's fine. But just be competitive with yourself, because it's not like we're trying to go out and compete against others.
No.
It's just beating what you did yesterday, beating what you did a month ago, beating what you did 6 months ago.
And being passionate about it.
Yes, and having passion. Yeah, I mean, that's where you really find that fulfillment, and that's where you see that progress. Because if you're passionate about it, you're working hard, you're seeing progress, it's just going to be fun as well.
Yeah, so you mentioned failure, and I just kept trying to remind myself to say this. Like while you were talking, I'm like, failure, kept repeating that in my head. But so when you think about failure, you think of it as a weakness. But the way that I like to think of failure is as a growth. So every time that you fail in a relationship, or like you said, something in business terms or workout, you are going to learn from that experience. So if you, for instance, if you fail at the gym and you're like, okay, I didn't hit the PR that I wanted to hit, you know, you're going to learn from that, and you're going to say, okay, but did I hit every workout this week? Did I make the progress and follow the routine that I needed to follow? So I think if you set these goals and you're not seeing success in them, you really have to reevaluate and kind of look back and look at the reflection in the mirror and say, okay, am I doing everything I need to get there? And also, like, again, failure puts your back up against the wall, like you said, and you're going to work harder. Most people, some people, not necessarily, but most people are going to work harder and want to get themselves out of the pickle or out of the hard struggle that they're going through at that time, that their back is against the wall. So
that's so true. I mean, when you fail, it's the perfect opportunity to reflect on either why you failed or what did you learn from failing. So very different things. If you're looking at why I failed, okay, I was going to try and lose X amount of weight, X amount of time, and I didn't reach that goal. Okay, let's reflect on what you did. Say it was like a 3-month goal and a certain amount of weight loss or body fat loss. Okay, I was supposed to go to the gym 5 times a week. I averaged 2.
Right.
Area of opportunity to grow from. You know, doesn't mean that the program didn't work. It doesn't mean that you know, I just have a messed up metabolism or my hormones are out of whack and I can't lose weight. There wasn't adherence to the program. Or on the flip side of things, I didn't lose weight. I didn't do this, X, Y, and Z. It's a good opportunity to reflect on what it is that you did learn. You know, I started to learn how to track my macros. And this is just specifically a weight loss example. This could apply to anything. But weight loss, you know, say that I didn't reach my weight loss goal, but I'm starting to track more consistently. Mm-hmm. I'm not as sore from my workouts because I'm getting consistent protein. I know what a protein source is. I know what a carb source is. I'm eating enough vegetables. I'm hydrating my body. I'm fueling my body properly. You know, there's a lot of positive things that we can look at even when we fail. And then the next layer to it is, how do I reach that goal? What can I do to refine it? And that's exactly what you're talking about. Is like, I didn't achieve it, but that doesn't mean that I give up. It just means that I look for areas of opportunity that I can get better on and maybe slightly tweak some variables or seek out the help of a professional and make sure that I come back and achieve that goal. I mean, one of the greatest quotes is, if you fail at first, try again. That's so applicable to any aspect of your life. If you fail, great. You know, that's amazing, because sometimes that's the most powerful motivator, is to fail and fail and fail and fail. And then when you reach that success, God, it's worth it in anything, in any aspect of life, in your fitness, in your personal life, in your finances, in your business, in your job. If you're struggling, and then you see that little glimmer of success, or you have a really big success, that just makes it worth all the hard and the struggles and just the day-to-day grind that you had to go through to get there.
Yeah, if you ask any successful person if they had any struggles, they're definitely going to laugh and say, of course.
Yeah.
Because you can't get anywhere in life without having struggles. And I think, we're human beings and we're born to make mistakes, and we're born to make mistakes because we learn from those mistakes. Even as a kid, I'm like, I wish I didn't do this, and I wish I would have listened to my parents, and I wish I would have, listened to them when they told me not to do this. But really, they can tell me all they want, but I have to experience that on my own. Yeah. I have to learn those things on my own. And I think that goes with anything in life, You just have to fail in order to believe it or in order to achieve it.
Yeah. I think that everybody sees success and they're like, oh, that person is just in shape. Oh, that person is just successful. That person just is a good person. That person is just wealthy because that's just the way it is. And they see that end result. But I think what people don't see is the product of what caused that result. That's the outcome. The end result is what they're seeing, but they don't see the grind and the struggles and the hardships and the effort and the discipline, consistency, all of those things that you need to achieve any goal, no matter what it is. Nobody sees that. And that's what I love. I love that, that just tenacity that it takes to achieve a goal. I love just coming in and working hard and nobody's seeing that. I love that. It matters more what you do when no one is looking versus when someone is looking. What are you going to do when people aren't watching you? That is what matters more. That day-to-day, the in and out, the hard work that happens behind closed doors when no one's looking, because those are the scenarios that produce the outcomes that you want. And I think that is so powerful, just coming in and just giving effort. And like we talked about, just having passion for what you're doing. If you're not enjoying the process of anything that you're doing, whether it's your job, your fitness, your business, your relationship, if you're not getting fulfillment out of that, it's going to be really hard for you to achieve that goal or see progress. I'm not saying that you have to love every single aspect of every single thing about the goal that you're trying to achieve, but there should be some sort of fulfillment, and you should be getting something inside in your heart from the discipline, the diligence, and just the consistency that you're having with those goals. So at the end of the day, it just matters so much more about what you do when people aren't looking. And I just love that. I love that hard work. I've always really enjoyed that. Just putting your head down, focusing on what it is that you want to accomplish, not focusing on what everyone else wants, just focusing on what it is that you want. And you do the work and you let the results speak for themselves. Because I hate when people, they talk and they gloat and God, that's the worst thing. I hate that. This just rubs me the wrong way. What I love and you don't see often is people that just do the work, but they don't talk about it. They let the results. That's why we work
well together.
Yes, that is why we work well together.
We've had that conversation.
Because you let the results speak for themselves, and that's very powerful. That means a lot more. What you show somebody versus what you tell somebody, it does matter a lot more.
Yeah, and when someone is successful and you see their success, I just want to point this out, that they are not done there. Once you are up here and you're successful, you never stop. Mm-hmm. The grind doesn't stop.
No, never.
You're constantly putting in the work. You're constantly putting in the effort to continue to grow, to continue to be better. And that's how a business mindset has to think. Even in the gym, even as a parent, as any role in life, you have to think that way. Just because maybe I do feel like I'm a good person, but there's always room to be a better person. Mm-hmm. There's always room to be better in the gym. There's so many things you can do in the gym. I mean, today when you had a client say, this would be so much easier if ... And my response was, no, it never gets easier. We can make it more challenging. So, and I think that goes for anything in life. It never gets easier. It's never meant to get easier. And the second that you stop is the second that you will stop seeing any sort of success in your life.
Yeah, exactly. No, you always have to be looking for that next thing. You always have to. That's why I think 10xing your goal is so powerful, because it levels up your concept of what is possible. Where if you are limited and you tell yourself, I am not like everybody else, I can't achieve greatness, and greatness is how you define it. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be power. It doesn't have to be influence. Greatness and success is achieved by how you define it. But I think that a lot of people, they do limit themselves. They say that, like, I can't achieve this. I'm not special. I don't have anything special about myself. And I get it, because there were times in my life, throughout growing up, that I thought that way too, where I thought that, I would compare myself to others. And I actually talk about this in my YouTube video this week, about the 5 lessons that I've learned as a husband, a father, and a business owner. And this is actually one of them, is that comparison is the thief of joy. And I think that when you compare yourself to others, it really does almost defeat you in the aspect of self-value and self-worth. Yeah, I mean, you can compare yourself to others and minor things, but when you focus on what it is that you're trying to accomplish and you focus on beating yourself, again, that provides confidence, like we talked about. And then you just take your wildest dream and you make it your goal. Why not? At the end of the day, why not shoot for the moon? Because if you miss and you were 95% of the way there, well, shit, it's still amazing. That's still a great goal. Just keep working until you reach the moon, So I think
a whole lifetime.
Yeah, you got a whole lifetime to work and achieve whatever it is that you want to do. Like, the world is just a playground. You can achieve anything that you want to set out to do. You just have to be willing to stay with it. And I think that's where so many people go wrong, is they dabble in this and they dabble in that, and then like, oh, that didn't work for me. I mean, yeah, certain things don't work for people, but I think that if you stay with something for long enough and you're really being consistent and you really are putting in hard work, and you have a path and a vision of where you're going, I think you can achieve anything. You just have to give it enough time, and you have to stay consistent with that goal and not kind of hop from one thing to the next thing to the other thing.
Because when you are consistent, you can actually look at that picture and say, okay, what was working that I was doing and what wasn't working? Because if you dabble here, dabble there, you don't have a path to follow to work from and say, okay, I see where I was screwing up here and I see where I could do better here. But if you're here and there and all over the place, then there's no room to improve without knowing, where you consistently were going. So
yeah,
I think,
for sure.
I think just anything in life, consistent. Like, when people come in here and they're like, I'm just not seeing the results. And I'm like, you could come into the gym every day and you're going to see the results in the gym. Yes. But like, as far as like diet goes, like that is 100%, you got to be consistent, because your body is going to be aware of how you're treating it day in and day out. If you're not consistent with what you're fueling your body with, it's going to pick up on that, and it's just going to pick up on those cues and those things. So
yeah, it is a powerful thing. Consistency really is. It's so cliche, but it's key. It's to any goal you want to achieve, you have to be consistent with it. It's so important. If we're looking at workouts specifically, because we talk a lot about workouts and we help people every day with their fitness. With your workout, it is so important to be consistent. If your goal is to work out 3 times a week, and the first week you work out 3, and then next week come in 1, and then it's 0, and then it's 2, and then it's 3, and then it's 1, that sporadic design of workouts, it just doesn't provide results. It doesn't provide consistency. You have to find a way that you can be consistent. You will not reach your goal, whatever it is, if you can't stay consistent with it. So one way that I really think that really helps with us in our dynamic and our relationship is that we really do feed off each other, and we do push each other to be our best and push ourselves to new heights, push each other to new heights, and really set that bar higher. And I think that's super powerful is the community aspect of that, where you and me have each other and we have each other to go through this. We understand the struggles. A lot of times you'll say something like, oh, I feel tight here. I feel sore here. This workout was hard. This workout was easy. I hit a PR. I didn't hit a PR. I did bad on my protein today. Those are all things that like we'll talk about that I understand that you're going through, and vice versa, that you understand that I'm going through. And I think a support system is so important when you're trying to achieve a goal, especially if it's a goal that's 10x, especially if it's a goal that's going to be really challenging. It's going to be really hard. You have to have people that generally know what you're going through. And that can be your husband or your wife. So like a spouse situation for us, could be a friend, could be a family member, could be someone you know over social media, could be a blog or whatever it is. But just having some sense of community is really powerful and is really going to help you stay consistent. That's a huge aspect that I think that you and me provide for each other. I know that you and me as trainers, that's something that we provide for people day in, day out too as well, to have that consistent, positive workout, or that just little progression day in, day out, week after week, month after month. That's something that we really strive to provide for people, is that consistent growth mindset. And that is so powerful. And I really encourage you, if you don't have a community, or you're like, I'm a lone wolf, I can do it on my own, I do encourage you to try and find like-minded people. Yep. Doesn't mean that you have to, I like to train alone, now I have to train with a partner every day. No, it doesn't mean that.
Hey,
but just,
you used to like to train alone.
I did. And this is why I'm speaking about this, because I am speaking from experience. I'm naturally an introverted person, and I get that like lone wolf mentality where it's like, I'm going to focus on what I'm doing and I'm going to hit my workout. But I've been there, and it's not, you can make progress that way, but
it's lonely.
There's not as much fulfillment from it. And why not share your process with someone else and really document that and share that with someone else, so that you can just build a stronger connection with somebody. You can see better progress, stay more consistent, or help someone else too as well by just bouncing ideas off each other. I think that is so powerful.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
So key to consistency. Well, we're always on the same wavelength. Yes. Always on the same wavelength.
I was waiting to say that. I'm like, it's nice to have a partner because you can learn something new from them. Like when you and I first met and we started working out together, like you helped me get my first pull-up, which was a big thing for me. And I think you before were so focused on strength, and I'm like, hey, let's superset. And you're like, what the heck is this? Like,
I would superset, but I would superset like arms, like not squats and lunges.
So it just challenges you when you bounce ideas off each other. So I think it's a really good point to make, and it helps keep you motivated. So if you don't have somebody close to you that you can reach out to, there's tons of like communities out there, support groups that you could find. I know here at Fit Grind, we are trying to provide that for our gym, create a community where everyone kind of knows each other and everyone can feel comfortable being around each other, because that's kind of what the gym is about here. Mm-hmm. We aren't this big, huge gym where thousands of people walk in here every day. We keep it small, and the reason we keep it small is so that we do have a community, and so that people are comfortable with being around each other and can say hi to each other, know each other's name. Hey, how's it going today? And I think eventually we'd like to even get like a running group going and create a community there. And I think that will also help us grow as runners. And so, because like we said, when you're surrounding yourself with other people, you just work harder. Mm-hmm. You're pushing yourself, and especially if you're competitive, like Jordan and I, if he's running fast, I'm like, shit, I got to catch up. But I will say, he gave me this crazy marathon goal, and I said, okay, well, what are you going to do for like 2 hours while you're waiting for me to cross the finish line? Because I'm really not sure I'm going to be there.
You're selling yourself short.
But we'll once we start getting into training, we'll set some more realistic goals, but I can't really tie that down quite yet.
Yeah. You said something that kind of jogged my memory and jogged my thought process. And we're talking about community. And, as this company grows and as our gym grows, I never want to lose that community aspect.
Right.
I never want to lose, because that is so powerful. Like, I think that when you go to a gym, whether it's a big commercial gym or like a gym like us, where it's like personal training, small group training, very, very tight knit, there's some sort of community factor. You meet people at the gym and like you have conversations and, hey, can you spot me? Like you start to build relationships and form relationships. And I think that's something that is so powerful, and I never want to lose that. And I really want to strive to keep improving that. And that's why we had talked about running group, in the spring. And when it's nicer outside, right now it's literally, it was negative 28 this morning with wind chill. So that's like,
not even healthy.
No, it's not even like safe to run outside in that. But as it gets nicer, I would love to start a running group. I want to look for ways that we can keep improving community, because I think that's really cool. I think that when you see a group and you see a group that's just meshing well, it's so powerful and cool to see that. And I can think of certain groups that I follow or certain businesses that I follow that really have a good thing going. And I can tip my hat to that. At the end of the day, I can give credit where credit's due and learn from that so that I can make people feel that way too. Because at the end of the day, fitness is my life, it's your life, and I know how that makes us feel. And I want to help more people feel good. I want to help more people stay connected. I want to help more people understand what it is that fitness really is. And I know here at this location, we're doing that. And I can say that confidently that we are helping people do that. And I love that. That's why that fills my cup. That's why I do this job. But
same.
That's really, I think, our goal with expanding this brand and outside of the physical location. In Omaha, Nebraska, we're limited to the amount of people that we can reach. And I think when we expanded into YouTube and social media, Instagram, now doing this podcast, I want to reach more people and help more people. And I want to show people the power of fitness and show them how powerful setting a goal is, 10xing that goal, and really just reaching for the stars, how powerful that is. And that when you see people that reach success and achieve these crazy things, they're not special. They're not more gifted than anyone else. They just stuck to a process. They were consistent. They 10x their goal. They set their goals really high, and they did it. And
discipline.
Anyone is achievable. Anyone is able to achieve success and really achieve amazing things if they're willing to go through the struggles, stick to that process, and stay consistent with it. So just something that you said kind of made me think of that just really wanted to reiterate that. I never want to lose that community. And I know that in the future, FitGrind as a brand is going to be looking for ways that we can build more of a community, not just in this physical location, but also just online and our platforms too as well. That's something that we really do strive to do, to create a community.
Yeah, that's kind of why we started the clothing line and the supplements too, is to reach people that aren't local and build the community elsewhere. Yeah. But one thing also I wanted to touch on is when you walk in that door, my goal is for those who are local is for you to not feel like this is a chore. And when you walk through the door and you feel like working out's a chore, it's just not fun. You don't want to be here. But when you have a community and you're like, gosh, I really can't wait to see Susie today, or, like you have a group of people here that you're excited to see, it becomes more willing, like you become more willing to come and be here, and it's a routine and it's a community and it's just, they become your friends, and it's just so cool to see that. Yeah. So that is my goal for all of my clients, is to never feel like it's a chore to be here, because that's not what I want this to be.
Yeah.
I want them to feel comfortable coming in the door and actually enjoy the workouts and enjoy the atmosphere when they are here. And I think that just goes a long way.
Oh, for sure. People should always leave feeling better than when they came in. I know I always feel that way after a workout, you know, during the week. And I think about this on Sundays. During the week, I'm usually here all day. Like, I'm not physically leaving. So like when I come in the morning, yeah, I'm kind of tired. Like when I leave at night, I'm tired. So like it's a little different. But what I always think is Sundays, because Sundays we don't work, and come in the gym. And, you know, I like our Sundays. There's no work on Sundays, and we'll kind of make breakfast, eat as a family. There's no rush to like get to the gym right away, where throughout the week, our week is like structured. Hour on the hour is like very structured. And I love that because it helps us accomplish a lot. But I love Sundays because it does give me that feeling of like coming to the gym and I leave feeling better than I came. And I really think about that with our clients too. And that's what I think is very important. If you own a business or whatever job you're in, you work with people, you should always have people leaving your services or your business or whatever it is that you're providing them. They should always feel better than when they left. They should have more confidence. They should have more success. They should have more enthusiasm when they leave your services or your business or whatever it is that you're offering, your products that you're selling. They should leave feeling better than when they came in. And I think if you can apply that concept to every single person that you come in contact with, you're going to have a lot of success in whatever it is that you're doing, whether you own a business or you're an employee or whatever it is that you do. That really does leave an impact on people. And I know that fitness is something that leaves an impact on me because I know that, hey, maybe I don't feel like doing this workout today, but I know at the end of it, I'm going to feel so much better. I love running outside because I know that it just clears my head and it just gets me in the state of like feeling good. And it sounds so counterintuitive because it's like running is painful and like it hurts and your lungs should burn and your legs should burn. And it's like, yes, but that feeling of accomplishment you get at the end and that clear-headed feeling, it just makes all of the struggle worth it. And that is the perfect analogy for achieving any goal. And that is why fitness is so powerful, because it teaches you so many lessons that you can go apply in your life. I talk about this all the time, but the gym has literally turned me into the person that I am and has shaped me to the person that I am, good or bad. And it has taught me so much and taught me how to stick with the process and taught me how to really set goals that are challenging, that kind of scare me a little bit, because I know I'm going to come out on the other side after it.
Yeah, it really builds mental toughness and confidence for sure. I think those are definitely the two things that I have built in the last decade. I mean, as an athlete, you know, you build those things, I think, but when you're on your own and you're done with that, you know, in sports, you have a community, you have these players on your team, and you lift each other up, and you know, when there's a bad play, you gotta lift each other up and get back up on your feet. But when sports were over, it was like, wow, I'm on my own. I gotta do this on my own. So once you figure that out and you're able to, you know, do it on your own, and you build so much mental toughness and confidence within yourself. And I think the most successful people are the ones who are disciplined, hardworking, and confident.
Yeah. And that run in the right direction too. Like, so many people take so much pride in working hard, and that's great. Like, I value and respect hard work. That is a very deep value of myself, and I know for you too. And that's great, but that hard work has to be getting you somewhere. Like, I could make you do 1,000 burpees every day, and yeah, that would be hard, or even 100 burpees every day. But is that necessarily getting you towards your goal? Is that getting you one step closer to your goal? If your goal is to build muscle, that has no validity in your program.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that people that work hard, that are consistent, that can do that day in, day out, but also have the vision of where they are going. Like, what path do I need to take, and can learn from those prior mistakes and make adjustments and corrections where it's needed. That's how you seek success. Is you have to know what direction you need to be running in. And it's okay if you're running and you don't know what direction you need to be running in. The biggest thing is just starting. So I always think about the New Year's. We're at the perfect time right now to set a goal that is out there, that is like really hard, that is 10x'd, that you are kind of intimidated by. But then the biggest thing that you can do after that is you have to start it, and you have to start somewhere.
Chip at it.
It might not be perfect. It rarely is perfect when you start working towards a really big goal. Like when we opened our gym, I mean, we did so many things that I can look back on now that we've had to make course adjustments to and corrections to. But the biggest thing is you just start somewhere, and you're going to learn things along the way. And if you're willing to learn and you have that open mind type
passion.
Yeah. And then passion towards doing it, you're going to see a lot of success. So right now we're at the perfect time. If you haven't started your fitness goal yet, you still can. You can still achieve so much this year. If you have started your fitness goal and it's not going the way that you want it to, make course adjustments, make corrections as needed, and stay with it, because your body was not built in a day. And if you have a big goal to achieve, it's not going to happen overnight. So you have to start to embrace that process and learn to just enjoy it, and stop focusing on the end result every single day, and focus on beating what it is that you did yesterday, beating what you did a month ago. And when you do that, 6 months goes by, 12 months goes by, and you're like, wow, I've made so much progress, because you've just focused on that process and less on the end result every single day.
Yeah. Give yourself some grace, chip at it, and reach those small achievements along the way. And then eventually you'll get to that 10x goal.
That's right. So we really wanted to record this video to, yes, provide some motivation, and also just help you guys realize that there isn't anything that's out of reach. And when people reach success, I look at, professional athletes or people that I look up to in the fitness world or in business or any aspect of life. The common theme across all those people is that they were willing to put in the work. Yes, they're willing to work hard. They're willing to be consistent with it. They made course adjustments when they needed to, when things got hard, or they learned from their mistakes. And they weren't necessarily special, like it's not like anything is saying that this person can achieve this thing and this person can't. And I think if you think that way, I'm here to tell you that it's all up in your head.
Yeah.
And you are more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
You're not born with it.
No, you're not born with it. No one's born. We're all born butt ass naked. We are all born in our birthday suit. That's right. So we're all on the level playing field. Just take what it is that you want to achieve and really cultivate it, protect it, work at it every day, and be willing and open-minded to learn, get better, and improve, and bounce different ideas off of people and find that community. And there's no limits to the things that you can achieve. So I really encourage you to think of your wildest dream, take a goal, 10x it, and see where it gets you, because I promise you can accomplish amazing things. You just have to tell yourself that you can do so.
Yeah, anywhere in life. Doesn't have to be fitness, can be business, relationships, anywhere in life.
Yeah, that was our whole idea. And this in our business world, this is something that we've tried to apply, because we've learned that process through being in the gym and different processes that we had to go through. And that was with our supplement line. It's like, oh, the supplements are so competitive. Why would you start a supplement company? Like, it's a $1 billion industry. And it's like, okay, but we are going to do this because I know we can. And we're going to build a supplement line on products that we believe in, and that we are going to take ourselves and we know is going to help people reach their specific goals. And that's our next thing that we're really working towards. And I'm super excited to build out this supplement line. Today's launch day, so super happy. We put a lot of work. This is something that we put like 6 months into, just to release a protein powder. It doesn't sound like, it's a protein powder, but like, it's something that we've taken a lot of time and initiative and been patient with, and put a lot of work into, that we're really excited for you guys to try, and really excited for your feedback. And we're just excited to keep building this brand, because I believe in this brand. I know you believe in this brand. This is more than just a gym. Fit Grind is the idea that through hard work, anything is achievable. So super excited.
That's why we've kind of transferred over to Fit Grind formula, is because we believe that it takes a formula to get the results.
Oh, for sure.
And it doesn't just take one thing like we talked about before. It doesn't just take getting into the gym. It takes multiple things like a community and, supplementation and dietary needs and all those things to create the perfect outcome.
Yeah.
So protein powder is not all treated equally. So when you think, oh, it's just a protein, no, we put a lot of work and effort into making it the perfect protein that we think is really good. Like, it tastes good, which is hard to come by. It's not gritty, makes this good, and has the perfect amount of protein in it. Low ingredients, only 7 ingredients, 0 grams of sugar. So it's more than just a protein, and they're not all treated equally.
Yeah, we will not put out products on the market that we do not believe ourselves, and that we will not be the test dummies for. So that is something that we truly believe in. We put effort into our work wherever that leads us, and the supplement line will be no different. It will be products that are built on high quality ingredients with formulas that will help you reach your fitness goals based on science, not just based on BS. Also a brand of transparency. So you will always see dosages and exact amounts on the label, and telling you exactly what is in our products, and not hiding behind any sort of proprietary blends or any sort of masking of ingredients. There will always be transparency with this brand in any aspect of it. So thank you guys for listening. This is episode 8 of our podcast. So it's crazy. Is rolling right along. I always look forward to hanging out for an hour with you and getting to talk. We are husband and wife, and we own a gym together, and we have 3 kids together, but crazy enough, we don't get a ton of time together throughout the week. So it is nice just to sit down and just talk, because this is so easy and so natural. Like, it's so easy to just have a little title, have kind of an idea of what we want to talk about, and then just roll with it, because
it's natural.
you're my best friend. So it's like, it just works really well. So I am enjoying this podcast. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want to go check out our new whey protein, go check it out at fitgrindformula.com. We appreciate your support. Like I said, if you buy 2 tubs, you'll get a free Fit Grind shaker. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and we will see you guys in the next one.
We'll see you guys.